Welcome to the Gulf Coast Industry Forum, hosted by the Economic Alliance Houston Port Region. I'm jazzed to be hanging out with Adam Peters, CEO for Air Liquide North America. Adam, is this your first time at the Gulf Coast Industry Forum?
It is, but really happy to be here.
Are you going to come back? Or,
Absolutely, yeah. No, I look forward to it for sure.
Well, we welcome you back anytime you want to come.
Thank you.
And the great job on the stage. So let's get right into it, Adam. I mean, Air Liquide is a global company. I want to ask you, what attracts you guys to make investments in the U.S.?
No problem. So yeah, you're absolutely right. We're in 60 countries. A third of our business is in the U.S. So a third of our annual sales are in the U.S. And when we think about our investments going forward, we put the lion's share here. Right, and the reason why is because the U.S. is just first. It's a country that we're used to, that we've done business in for years. We're in all 50 states. We have 20,000 employees here. We see a business climate that is business friendly.
Sure.
We see our customers wanting to invest, and we believe that we can make a difference in terms of investing along with them to help and assist in what they're doing. So a lot of what we do in the industrial gas space is really integral to what they do in terms of manufacturing and the like. So we impact every industry that you can think of, and we see that really taking off in the U.S.
Thanks for that. And let's dig into tariffs. You made some comments on the stage. Where are we as an industry with tariffs right now, and where do you hope to see things go?
So I guess, for me, I think where we're all facing right now is a bit of uncertainty, right? So we've got, I guess right now we don't see where this is going to end up or when it's going to end up. In my mind, the biggest thing we can do and the best thing we can do for industry, for investment to move forward, is gain certainty. So if we can make deals with countries to basically have that clear, then I think that'll be one big hurdle removed to allow companies to invest going forward and have that certainty around cost, around where optimal locations for products to come from or equipment to come from and the like to make this work.
And until that time, you just kind of tell me about that, that balance and that flexibility. Tell me what that's like.
So it's tricky. I mean, right now, without that certainty, it makes it hard to make a long-term investment decision, right? And I think for us, what we see, and I mentioned this on the stage a little bit, but there's kind of a direct impact and an indirect impact. The indirect impact is the biggest impact that we see. So we largely produce local for local. So the direct impacts aren't that big for us. They're manageable, I would say.
That's right.
But the indirect impacts are huge because they drive this malaise in terms of moving things forward for businesses to add resources in terms of people, in terms of investment.
Makes a lot of sense. Adam, let's flip over to regulatory policy. What would you like to see from the federal level in the U.S. as far as regulatory policy?
Yeah, so from a regulatory standpoint, I was actually quite pleased from a business standpoint about what came out of the One Big Beautiful Bill.
Okay.
So when I looked at that, they had several provisions that we saw as very important for us moving forward in terms of what the hydrogen economy could look like, investment tax credits and the like. So in my mind, that was really great. What I'd like to see is regulatory certainty and maybe a look around the permitting side, so permitting reform. I think this is another area where if there's permitting reform, if it speeds up the process, then companies will move forward, including us, with new investments because we'll be able to work through that red tape a lot faster.
And a lot of what you said was shared by some other members of the panel today. So I want to talk about how Air Liquide is increasingly involved in industrial decarbonization. I mean, how is the company helping a chemical manufacturer you as a chemical manufacturer reduce your emissions and maintain your efficiency while doing so?
Yeah, so this is really part of our global plan. So when I look at it, we've got our own emissions reduction targets. And we also see a big role that we can play is helping our customers to decarbonize and meet their emissions reduction targets. So one key area around this is the use of hydrogen. So hydrogen can help decarbonize. It can be used for fuel replacement. It can be used for the production of low carbon ammonia, which can be used for the export markets. And so to me, these are areas where we can play an increasingly important role in helping industry decarbonize and remain competitive as it goes forward.
Adam, are you seeing that momentum continue with the new administration?
I do, because of the regulatory certainty. So if you look at it, on the hydrogen side, there were several provisions put forward through the IRA as an example that kind of remained uncertain for some time. Now those are clear. So now we have a good runway around how that's supposed to work, around hydrogen production tax credits, investment tax credits, and the like, that gives us a runway until the end of 2027 to make that happen. So I think that this is, like I said, I'm very happy with where that ended up.
Adam, we thank you for your time. I want to get into a couple other things. One is personal, man. For people that don't know you, you were telling me about your kids and where you're from. Upstate New York is where you're from. You've been in Texas a long time. Talk about how you got here.
Yeah, so my dad worked for IBM for 43 years and moved us down to Austin back in 1986. So I've been a Texan ever since. I got here as fast as I could. My wife and I have 3 kids. They're all up in College Station right now and basically enjoying life in college. And my wife and I are getting used to the empty nest for the first time.
All right, man. That's a new endeavor for you.
It is, yeah.
Well, Adam, we wish you and your wife all the best. I thank you so much for spending time with BIC Magazine, and thank you for being on stage at the Gulf Coast Industry Forum.
Absolutely. Thanks to you.